Here we go. One step at a time, don't be living on the line. I don't need a friend, I got more than on the mind. Sunshine in my brain, making everyone complain. Radio in the heart, don't be being so strange. Think I'm losing it, baby, where have you been?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over the digital currency DCR. Now, what are we looking at here as far as the technical analysis is concerned? We're looking at a red trend line here on the longer term time frame. Now, it's not too long because this digital currency hasn't been out that long now as far as what the charts reflect here. Now, from way back here, I drew two highs there. They went up, bounce, touch, bounce, touch. It looks like an M pattern, right? But it's not. It kind of, well, it is, but it failed there. You can see the right leg elongated itself, really stretching itself there. But then it decided to go sideways. Now remember, this trend line is projected from these two highs right here, our high number 1 and our high number 2. Way into the future there, we have a nice touch. Okay, the cred here smacks its head on it before kind of rolling back downward and then hovering just shy of below it. Now it seemed pretty intimidated because it went down, kind of really taking a dip there. This would have been a beautiful time to stack some of these of this digital currency here. Now it did go up and it tested it a second time. This was the first test right here. This is the second test, but it decided to break up above it. Now, very important to look at this. Once it broke, it shot upward, right? Just wham, right up. And then this trend line, since it's above it now becomes support. It acts as a floor now. Before it's acting as a ceiling, the ceiling was broken, boom. And then it now comes up, makes a little high here, and before it going right back down, finding support and touching the floor of it now. And then as soon as it touches that floor, had you have seen this, you could have placed, well, I would have placed some buys, because that's what I like to see, a trend line broken, especially over a long time frame there, and then have it roll back and retest and then get in on some more of those. That would be awesome, right? And then it kind of rolls sideways there, but we know this trend line offers support now, so it's going to be pretty strong into the future. But you see, it wastes no time. It went straight upward. See, it broke, tested the trend line, found support, rolled back up, and then fired off straight up into the air. Okay, right past the $12.50 mark. And then it kind of went down, squiggles itself to the right, but we have this sharp move down here. What is that sharp move down? Why is it doing that? What is going on here? Now this is where we're currently at. So you say, that's great finding out about that in the past. I appreciate finding that out, but that doesn't help me because it would have been good had you have showed me this back here when it was at its low, correct? Well, this is good to know because you're learning technical analysis. Now let's deal with what's happening right now. So let's go ahead and zoom in because we really can't see much on this longer term chart here. So we're going to take our eye and zoom it in by looking at a 3-month or a shorter term time frame. Now let's go ahead and click. I already have it prepared for us. And here we are. This is from January 2016 to today. Now, or I'm sorry, this is the 16th of January 2017. My apologies, to today. Now, so just a few months. So what we have is we have it forming this triangle pattern. But let's draw some circles here. This would have been the first bounce above this trend line, right? This first area where we find our low. Then we would have had our second low right here. So we could have connected those two lows because you can see this is a higher up right here and then it falls, boom. And we connect that and say, oh, that looks like a trend line there. Well, let's project that into the future. Well, it wastes no time before going back up and then giving us our first test of this trend line right here. Now, once it did that, it went upward and it shot straight up. But you can see it has this down and up and then kind of making this area here, gave us two highs there. So I connected those lines there. It is a shorter time frame, but that's okay. It still makes a trend line because when I connected these two highs here, you can see it went down and it went right back up. Now, why did it go right here, just shy of this red resistance level trend line? Because it's respecting these two highs right here projected into the future. So as soon as it tests that trend line again for the first time on these two highs projected into the future there, it falls sharply. Well, how far down does it go? It goes down to this trend line. See? That is very, very beautiful of a sharp move down to our level of support for this trend line here projected into the future. Now this is the second time, because this is the first time here and this is the second time now. So this would have been great if you would have seen this here. I could have put some money on this here and said, okay, I'm going to buy in and around this trend line area, and if it goes up, I'm looking for it to go near, maybe not touch completely, but go kind of upward at least. It's got to go upward and try to test this trend line area again. As you've seen, we have 1, 2, 3. So, but this is the two highs projected in the future, so it actually has 1 right here. Now, it's going to probably test a second time, but you know what? We're kind of getting close to the narrowing of this triangle now. So, it's a possibility that it can break this and go higher up to the $15 mark. Okay, let's not say it's going to go higher than there. If it does, wonderful. But let's just give it a small projection there. Let's give it $15. If it can go that high, it'll break these previous highs here. Now that would be something great if you have some of this digital currency and you're looking for it to shoot even higher. So if not, then we're looking at it to go downward. So let's draw this color here. It may go up a little bit here, but then decide to go down and break out down here. Now this is the big thing. Look at this trend line. It's a very strong trend line. It's got two tests here. So if it does fall, it might be a significant drop. Okay, now this is stronger because there's more time in between these tests here. See how this might be a little weaker here because there's not that much time in between the tests. So this longer one has more power here. So if this powerful one is broken, we could see a nice fall down here, or a sad fall. But how low? It's probably going to go back down to $5. Maybe not down to $2.50 again. It might just go to $5. But then it might turn back around and then try to test this red trend line here once more. See if we project this trend line into the future again there. It can retest it a second time. After our first time after this breakdown here. So there is hope for this coin. What I want to show you is a relationship to what's going on with these other alternative currencies and Decred here. Now that we've looked at this triangle here in depth, we have our level here. If it does go up, $15. If it goes down, $5. Okay, so keep those in mind there. That's my opinion. That's what I'm looking for it to do when it breaks this triangle here. But pretty cool. Hope you like that. The support demonstration and the resistance demonstration. Let's go ahead and go now to what I want to show you here as far as a comparison. Let's see. There we go. So we have Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dash. But let's look one more time at Decred. What do you notice here? It's a fairly new cryptocurrency, and you can see it was trading under the $2.50 mark, or the 0.0025 of Bitcoin. Now, it was down below that for some time, but then it breaks a trend line, and then it decides to just shoot straight up before kind of zigzagging its way down. But we found that zigzag to be a triangle on the lower time frame, right? But still, we have to deal with this shooting straight upward there, just breaking all highs and really giving us nowhere to draw trend lines. So it's kind of out in no man's land, right? By itself, really high up there. Now, that's exactly what we see that Bitcoin did once before. Went sideways, shot straight up. And then Litecoin, sideways, shot straight up. And Dash, sideways, well, it did go up a little bit there, but every one is different. But you can still see the similarity that it went sideways and then shot straight up. Now, all of them kind of had a pullback here. Dash pulled back pretty far. You can watch my Dash video there that I had made. Litecoin pulled back, and Bitcoin pulled back. And it looks like that's exactly what we're seeing with Decred. You see? Sideways on up, and then a pullback. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean it's going to necessarily do what Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Dash did? Absolutely not. It has its own developer and community, and it can do whatever it wants. So these are just some tools that I showed you to help you understand what it might do, because we want to trade smart and calculative, right? So this is what I'm looking at. This comparison between the charts and the relationship is pretty similar there. So it's a word of caution to my brain to say, interesting. Now, since that is so interesting, like I said, if we go to this time frame here, if it does go down, then I'm looking to pick up some more of this coin. Okay, if you're a fan of this coin, you want to buy more. This is due to because of the technical analysis. You could look to buy in and around the $5 mark. That's what I'm going to do. You can do as you want, right? Trade at your own risk. So just keep that in mind. That's pretty cool as far as technical analysis is concerned. If it does break this triangle, it might have a pullback down here. If not, it's going to go higher. So congratulations to those of you that bought in low and are just here watching this presentation of the technical analysis of this coin, Decred, or the digital currency Decred. And if it does go up, then you make a nice profit there. And I hope you can share your success and let us know how well you did. And also, guys, thank you very much for the comments and the subscribers and the likes on the video. Once again, I appreciate it very much. And the donations, thank you very much. That was amazing. I appreciate it so much. Those of you who know who you are, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a nice night. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.